So I'm just going to ask Fallon a few questions. So Fallon lives here. Hey, Fallon?
Yeah.
You live here in Guernsey. Can you tell me, if someone was planning on visiting the island, Guernsey,
Yeah.
what's the top 3 hotels you'd recommend? And I know it depends what people want and stuff, but generally, if you want to come to a nice hotel?
Probably the Fairmain Hotel. It's really
Yep.
nice. You've got the tree houses there.
Yeah.
Probably the St Pierre Park's really nice. You've got a nice spa there.
Yeah.
And then you can walk to number 19 restaurant. Isn't it called number 19? And the OGH is a 5-star hotel in Guernsey.
And out of those 3, which is your personal
Probably
favourite?
The Fairmain's my favourite.
And
yeah.
why is that?
Just because it's got nice surroundings. You can walk down to like the beach cafe, down the hill, and it's got the 2 restaurants there, the steakhouse and the Mexican, so it's really nice.
Something I think might be quite worth asking Fallon about is what it's like to relocate to Guernsey, because she's actually done that herself.
Yeah.
So what was it like to relocate to Guernsey? Where are you from, the UK, wasn't it?
I'm from Somerset.
Yep.
And I didn't really know Guernsey existed. I knew about Jersey, but I didn't know about Guernsey. But no, really nice change for me.
Whereabout from the UK did you come from?
So I come from Somerset.
And what was
So
the
it was
big...
quite quiet, I guess. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to be more by the sea, really.
Yep. You definitely get that in Guernsey, didn't you?
And the opportunities, there was more opportunities over here to do my beauty therapy.
Yep.
And I didn't want to have to commute an hour to work every day. So the longest you commute over here is maybe 20 minutes. So that was perfect for me, and being by the sea and quiet-ish way of life, which I don't really mind.
Is there any reason you think someone shouldn't relocate to Guernsey?
Yeah, if they really like London busy life,
Cities.
if you like city life,
Yeah.
I wouldn't come here, no.
Any
So
others?
you need to be wanting a sort of quietish life, but you can still make it a bit busy and sociable over here.
Okay. So what would you recommend best areas to live in Guernsey? So we're in parishes, aren't we? So is there 12 different parishes? I could be wrong. There's different
I don't
parishes,
know how
different
many.
names.
Yeah.
What would you recommend? Coast or inland in St Peter Port, which is the capital?
Everyone's different, aren't they? So, depending if you want coast or you want country, really.
So what would you recommend someone who wants to experience island life? Would you go and live inland or to the coast?
Personally, I'd rather be by the sea, so we're by Port Swarth, so the west coast is really nice. If you want the
I
sea.
think the very fact you'll probably come to live in Guernsey means you like the sea and stuff, don't you? So
But then if you want more country and stuff, then I guess it's forest, but that's more expensive.
Forest, which is a parish, isn't
And
it, actually, a
Tortoise.
forest. Yeah. So that's Tortoise, a parish as well.
So, and St Martin's is really nice as well. So probably after the coast, I quite like to live in St Martin's. There's quite a lot going on, and
Yeah.
you've got all the nice little pubs, and you can do like little pub crawl around there and stuff.
Because you're such a big drinker, yeah? What about restaurants in Guernsey? Is there many restaurants to eat in on the island, or is it a bit limited? What do you?
No,
and what's the
no.
standard of food here?
There's loads of restaurants. I think we're quite spoilt for choice, really. You've got steak, we've got sushi, we've got Italians, we've got
Chinese takeaways?
Chinese,
Indians,
Indians,
Thai?
There's lots for vegetarians over here. Yeah, Thais. So no, I think we've got quite a nice,
What's the best Indian in Guernsey
probably
restaurant?
Luray, Indian cottage at Luray,
Best Chinese?
China Red.
Quite certain on those then.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone, and I get this said frequently to me, that Guernsey's boring, it's full of old people and there's nothing to do?
Well, you just make what you want to make out of it, really. So if you just sit at home and do nothing, it's going to be boring, but you've just got to put yourself out there and do things that you enjoy. There's plenty of different clubs. I joined netball over here and stuff, and that's how I met people, really. But you can be as busy as you want to be over here. You can be out every night if you want to be.
Well, I suppose those people saying that, again, it's probably not suited to them in the first place, is it?
No, exactly.
Is it full of old people, would you say? Which is something, I mean, I know the answer to that, which it isn't, but I suppose you get older visitors here, don't you?
I'd say there's a lot of
Older
young
people.
families over here.
Yeah,
I've noticed since having children. So
Yeah.
there's so many things to do for families. It can be limited over here for if you've got a family though as well, especially when the weather's bad.
Yeah.
There's not as much to do as the UK, which I do notice when I go back. But again, you just do what you can do, really. They've got a couple of good like indoor places for kids to play in.
So would you recommend a young family, someone with a young family come to live in Guernsey?
Yeah, I would. It's very safe over here compared to, I'm not saying it's super safe, but it's safer than the UK and everything. So
Nice place to bring up children.
yeah, a nice place to bring up children, good schools.
Because the island's quite small, would you recommend getting a car or could you walk everywhere?
I did walk to start with when I moved over here, but I worked in town and lived in town. So if you're going to live in town and you work in town, you don't really need a car too much apart from for shopping and getting about. But you can definitely get away without it if you're working in town and you live close to your work. But if you don't, I would recommend a car because the buses don't go that often compared to the UK. And there's no trains or anything, so the only thing of transport is bikes or buses, really.
Yeah. And apparently everyone in Guernsey is a millionaire. Is that right?
I thought that when I moved over. I was looking for someone rich when I come over. But no, it's not the case, really. There is a lot of poverty. There is poverty over here.
What about things like the weather? So obviously we are just off the coast of France here.
Slightly warmer over here.
Similar to the south of UK, would you say?
Probably similar, but it does get a little bit warmer at times, so which is good.
Slightly warmer.
But then it gets a bit windier, so
We've always got a wind,
we get
haven't
a
we?
wind, don't we?
And of course you've got views like this, haven't you?
But then the summer is beautiful over here.
So if you do come to live here,
Yeah.
what would you say the people are like here that live here, the locals?
Yeah, really friendly.
Yeah.
I found it a little bit cliquey if I'm honest, but I think it's just because people are just sort of getting on with their daily life and they don't really think about people that moved over and don't know anyone. So
Yeah.
unless you sort of be a bit forward really and say, do you want to go out for a coffee or something with somebody, then it's quite difficult. So I joined a netball club and met most of my friends from there. Otherwise I don't really know how I would have met people, really.
So you'd recommend maybe joining
a club of your
sports,
hobby.
your
I mean,
hobbies.
it doesn't need to be sports. There's loads of other clubs, kids clubs and parents can meet up and stuff. So definitely do as much as you can, really. And you do need to put yourself out there. But once you get your circle of friends, it's fine.
So this gets asked quite a lot to me. Or people do mention this to me. What would you say is the one thing you really miss about living in the UK compared to living on a little island? Is there anything at all you miss, or is there a few things you really miss?
Obviously, well, the main thing is family, and then it's just I do miss just being able to get into a car because we used to go camping quite a lot the weekends and stuff, and we'd drive to like Devon and Cornwall, which was like a couple of hours drive. So I miss just being able to get in the car and just go on the motorway and be somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
Because you can drive around the drive around the island in an hour over here, so there's a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
But, so it can get a little bit samey sometimes, but for what you get over here, it definitely works out, really.
Do you miss McDonald's?
No, I don't actually.
Miss
a lot
the
of people
trains?
do. I don't miss the takeaways particularly.
No.
Yeah, trains were quite good to go on. I miss, not really though, I don't really miss trains too much, and just shops, I guess.
The big
I
shops?
miss shopping centres.
Because we haven't got like quite a few
Just being
shops.
able to go into a big shopping centre and just go shopping, go for some lunch, go to the cinema. I miss a big cinema over here.
Yeah.
So a few things.
And obviously a big one people ask is how expensive is it to live in Guernsey, like shopping and house prices and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's pretty expensive to live over here. So, but then you do get paid more money over here, so it evens itself out slightly.
Yeah. House prices?
House prices are like London prices, probably.
Right. Yeah.
pretty much.
And food
Is pretty expensive.
Your nan always has a shock at the food price, doesn't she?
Food's pretty expensive, so my nan always has a shock about the food.
Yeah. But then you're doing, would you say your wages are slightly higher?
Yeah, they're slightly higher than the UK because I was, darling, she's going too close now.
Oh, yeah.
Come back.
Come back, carry on. So it's slightly higher than the UK?
Yeah, they're slightly higher, yeah.
What about Guernsey life in general? Is it a slow way of life like people think it is, or is it not quite that when you live here?
It's probably a little bit slower, I'd say, than being in the UK, because if you're commuting a lot more time to pick up kids and go to work and stuff, it'll be quite busy. So
yeah.
Definitely more chilled over here, even though I think people say they get really busy over here, but if you're in the UK, I think you'd be slightly busier.
I mean, the nice thing is obviously like things like now, isn't it, where we're walking.
Yeah.
We just left our house now and we're walking around here.
I think the quality of life is better and more family time.
Yeah. So this is West
And
Coast.
even if you're a lawyer over here, you're probably not doing the same hours as like in London.
Yeah. So we get a lot of people who relocated, don't we, for jobs and things?
Yeah, loads of people do. I mean, I relocated for a job, and I've been here 21 years now, so they're pretty much stuck with me now.
I know. Yeah, because people I meet who watch my channel and that, they say they come here for work. They got a job here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can stay over here, I mean, it depends on the licence you get given. I've been here over 15 years, so I've got my local licence now.
Yeah.
So you can stay over here if you get married to a local as well, but you get a local licence around 15 years. I don't know if that's changed.
Right.
And then with your work as well.
Okay.
So. Should we walk down?
Just to ask Fallon what she thinks about these beach kiosks. This is a typical one. Get these all around the coast. They sell food, cakes, coffees, crisps, chips. What do you think? So this is Surfside kiosk at Port Swaff. What do you reckon about these, Val?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, they do like really nice like homemade food. So I definitely recommend like soups, jacket potatoes, sandwiches.
Are they all as good as each other?
There's some better than others. That's a good one down there, Port Swaff. That's one of our favourite ones.
Yeah.
And what?
Because we go there on Sundays, don't we?
Pardon?
We go there on Sundays.
Our Richmond kiosk is good food.
Yep.
And that one's not really anything special, but they do. It's always got big queues outside that one.
This one's really popular,
on a Sunday. Yeah.
You can sit outside.
Yeah, really.
Some of them do crab sandwiches, don't they?
Yeah, most of them do, like fresh crab.
Yeah.
That's good. Do you want to come off it?
And finally, Fallon, what would you recommend about someone come to Guernsey to start their own business up? Depending what it is, obviously, but...
Oh, I don't know.
Hey?
I don't know. What to say?
Okay, well, that concludes that, Fallon. Thanks for all your efforts. That was a good little chat. Hope that helped people. Remember, if you want to listen more about stuff about Guernsey, that's what we're here for. Any comments or any questions you want us to answer, we might do another one. If you we get any questions we think we didn't cover, ask us in the comments. And we'll do another video. As usual, you want to see more stuff on Guernsey, remember to subscribe to the channel. And see you on the next one. Say bye, Fallon.
Bye. Yes, son.